Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Glory Days podcast. We are here. We're feeling good. Finally, my depression has been cured. I've filed a claim with the Welcome Back department because, ladies and gentlemen, Prime Perth Glory has returned to save us all.
Alex, no.
What are you talking about, boys? What are you talking about?
Because we've seen this movie before. We get our hopes
It's a
up,
damn good movie.
and then
damn good movie, James. It's a damn good movie.
Great movie.
When I thought I was out, they just pulled me back in.
No, get those lights off.
Yo, off! Off! Turn them off!
Well, they've the one game that I don't go to, they decide to put in the best performance that they've done, not just this season, but in years. Beating Auckland 1-0. I think to start the show off, well done to the boys and well done to Zrilla, well done to everyone. Because that was, I've been asking now to be impressed by a performance and to see something. I recall quite clearly in one of the prior podcasts, I said, these next 4 games, so the, West United, Sydney, Auckland and West Sydney Wanderers, these next 4 games are critical for Dave to show something tangible.
Yep.
We didn't see it. Well, we sort of saw something against Western, then fumbled it. Didn't see anything against Sydney, but we definitely saw something, I think, in the game against Auckland.
We saw something against Sydney.
Well, something that made me ponder calling Beyond Blue, but in this game, it was like, wow. And I know that word has been banned on this podcast.
Stop.
But
it's gross, James.
But, to quote our mate Stan Lazaridis, why not next year we'll win the fucking thing?
Win the fucker. Let's go. I love that, by the way. I know we slander Stan so much for how much he overhypes things, but, oh, man,
he has the whole fan base by the balls.
Just saying, listen, next year we'll win the fucker. Wait!
I think the funny part was
It's like promotion.
I think the funny thing was like in the car as well. You could sort of see someone like trying to like hide their face.
Everyone's like that was everyone's.
I think that was
bigging it up with online
Pretty sure it was
speculation.
Lockie Wales. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that me and Will also saw him after the game.
We did.
He was chatting with Stan in front of the Auckland bed. That might have been someone else that looked exactly like Lockie Wales, but I would wonder why Stan is blowing the budget on a Lockie Wales doppelganger.
Do you know who else we saw?
Who?
At the game?
Who?
My best friend and my favourite player of all time.
Allegedly.
I think it was
sure.
him, Chris Harold.
Harold was there, yeah.
He was, yeah. Oh, I knew it was him.
Because he presented the thing to Rizzo.
I literally eyeballed him for 10 minutes straight to watch him going, please don't know. Harold,
Will's just sat there in the gold members seats just calling out, Chris! He wasn't turning. I was like, I don't think it's him. And he's like, no, I recognise that jawline anywhere. That's my goat. That's my goat.
My goat, man. I love Chris Harold. Anyway.
He's a fucking gun.
He is. Him and Rizzo absolutely carried us for years as the 2WA boys. It was brilliant.
This is how you can tell that, we're really happy. The vibes are so incredibly high right now because we've gotten one home win in 11 months.
But we obviously had the win against Brisbane, but this feels different. I know
that was a good performance.
I know that we did it at home, but the Brisbane one, it was sort of like, we hung in by a bee's dick. This one was different, I felt, in terms of the performance, where it was just everyone put in something, and it felt like, and I messaged to a few guys, I said, it was like we were watching a cup game again. The Brisbane or the Melbourne City game. So we'll crack on more with the performance and some of the transfer rumours a little bit later. But
can I just shout out one thing real quick?
No.
Massive shout out to Will Franey and the rest of the Franey family. Approached us in the members lounge. Well, I guess I approached Will, and then they ended up speaking to us. But they've said that they hold on a second. They said that they frequently watch the channel all the way from Sydney as well. So thank you so much, guys, for your continued love and support. And Will, mate, we're hoping to see you in the squad. Hopefully tomorrow night against the Wanderers. But if not, then very soon, mate.
Yes,
Anyways,
his time will come soon, but we'll get into a few of the fan comments. We got a lot, so we'll go through some of the most light replies, but we will flash through all the other ones throughout the video. So we had Peter Allen. He said, every player put in an immense shift. Other than maybe starting the second half a bit much on the back foot, I can't fault anything. Surely Roscoe and Stanislav cancelled Carluccio's mutual termination the way he is playing, and Pearman showed signs of being a special player already. John Shifts put in big time. I ate a lot of words in the week. Or I ate a lot of words in the week, rather. Now time to back it up, please. Jalen Pearman, you are the love of my life. You take the effort level and add more quality.
That's the account name.
Yeah. You take that effort level and add more quality, and we are cooking. Fig Kid signed Pearman to a multi-year professional deal immediately.
Agreed.
Lachlan got nervous around the 65th minute. The boys looked cooked and Zrilic didn't make any subs, but we hung around, didn't concede and put in one last huge effort. Pearman is a star, Pennington's quality and decision-making is top tier. Rizzo puts in 110%. And what about Superman Sale, who it is his birthday today, so happy birthday, Ollie Sale. And then just a couple more just for shits and giggles. We had Fabio saying the win makes up for the lack of fireworks at half time.
I was wondering where they were actually.
I was noticing a severe lack of dancers at half time.
Yeah. Glory Productions enjoyed the flight back. You sheep shaggers. Brilliant 90 for the most part. Good defensive structure and quality counter-attacking play. Really unlucky not to have 2 or 3 go our way. Let's just hope fatigue doesn't play a role in Tuesday's game. I don't want to lose to you-know-who. And then finally, Daniel Del Borello. Perth Glory showed heart and commitment tonight. More grit than a sandstorm in Scarborough.
Can you read the tweet that I was responding to, please? Can you just go to the top, the actual original tweet? Yeah, just... So a massive win.
A massive. And then
we have the most liked comment.
Alistair, massive.
Massive.
Let's not do this. It's 2020.
We're going to get cancelled.
Do you know what else is massive?
What? Go on.
I was trying to think of something.
Anyway,
swiftly moving on.
Anyway,
joking. That performance from the Perth Glory. What a win, boys. Great stuff.
Just quickly, I know we had the Sydney game during the week.
We did? What Sydney game?
Just to put a little bit of a dampener.
Who's Sydney?
What's the Sydney?
The first performance of the week in the Sydney FC performance, the 3-0 loss. Before we get into the much better part of the week, which was the Auckland game, did we have any quick thoughts on that Sydney loss, or is it something that we're just going to put on the back burner and move on?
No, we can't forget about it because it did happen. You lose 3-0 at any game, you do have to kind of acknowledge that was pretty poor.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a mixture of, obviously Sydney have a lot more depth and have a lot more just cohesiveness as a squad, I think, and also the fact that Joe Lolly just loves to play against Perth. No matter what, Joe loves to play us. It's just a thing. No matter what kind of team they're playing against.
Joe, can you just come
here?
Hey,
He'd be a wow sign. He'd be a great wow sign.
Yeah, all I want to say is we had 5 people on the panel last week and not a single person correctly predicted the score, but ChatGPT predicted it correctly.
I predicted Joe Lolly hat-trick.
You did, but you didn't predict the
I know.
score.
I was stupid. I thought we'd score.
But I think just to end on that, I think we defended well for the first 45 minutes, but then the dam will break because Lolly's just a pest.
Yeah.
But I think what was interesting, though, was that David stuck with the same lineup for the Auckland game. I was expecting, a couple of changes, but I think the only changes that were there were both Faisal and Miliusnic dropping out of the bench. And I think a couple of boys got added in. But did we like the lineup that Dave put out, or did we think that, obviously we're now saying this in hindsight, he should have made some changes?
Well, I said this in our group chat before the Auckland game. I said that this squad, I really like it in terms of how much balance it brings to the team. I think you have a really good, especially in the midfield, with Pearman, who pushes up a bit more and has got that really good attacking quality. You got Taras, who can be really good, and he was very good this game at being that balancing box-to-box type player who can still play make and give stick in a tackle. And then obviously Pennington, who's just class all around. I do think that this 11, despite the loss of Sydney, is probably the strongest one we can put out right now.
Yeah.
So that's our best foot forward lineup. So I think unless there's some fatigue issues, it should be the same from the rest of the season.
Look, I agree there, but I'm also just going to raise the point that we do have some new signings coming in.
Of course.
Obviously, Okazawa and Masao.
Okiyama,
sorry. Yeah. Okazawa, Okiyama.
Good try.
Okinawa.
We'll touch on these boys more a bit later on, but yeah.
Look, they're obviously coming in. Hopefully, they're going to improve the squad.
Yeah.
If they both start, that means that we're going to have an average age of our backline of, I believe, just under 33 years old.
Depends on how we fit them in, I guess.
That is true, but at the same time, it is quite old. But I'm looking forward to the prospect of Zach Lizalewski having someone to actually, learn under and develop under.
Without touching into it too much, because we will have a section on it later on in the show, but for either of our young guys, like a Labib or a Lizalewski, to be learning under 2 guys that have accumulated over 300 appearances in the J1 league. This isn't J2 or J3. This is J1, and I think Utah Misao has won the Champions League, the Asian Champions League.
That's a big
I can't remember which club, but I think he's done that. But we're clearly bringing in guys that have got a fair amount of experience.
Yeah.
Can I say as well, just touching quickly on Zach Lizalewski, that fucking tackle. Oh my God.
This guy walked up to him after the game and said, "Great tackle, mate."
I walked up to him in the car park. I said, "Brother, that tackle."
I couldn't believe it. I was just talking to Doggy, and this guy just goes, "Yeah, Zach, bro."
But Pennington gets taken down in the midfield. The ref calls play on, and we immediately lose the ball. So it shouldn't have been advantage. They lose the ball. Zach just comes sprinting in,
out of the hell,
flies, and just batters the hell.
Do you remember?
Oh my God!
What was it? Was it Eric Dyer in the Euros who did something very similar?
Yeah.
It just whammed him off the ball.
No, what was the one? Was it who was it? Was it Sergio Ramos or Piqué? The one where the keeper has the ball and he just sprints the length of the field.
Yeah, that's Dyer. Yeah, he did it to Ramos.
But that's the thing. It's like, we'll talk about this a lot during the episode, but the defensive interventions from a number of Glory players. I think one of the highlights for me, because I unfortunately couldn't go to the game, and so maybe there's a conspiracy if I don't go to games, you might actually play better. But there was a moment in the first half where Risdon came in like he'd just been slung out of the cannon, crashing through Galagos. That definitely would have left a mark on him.
100%.
But then it was... Labib was involved in a contest. Who's their left winger? Gilligan?
Yeah,
Gilligan. Say his name? Yeah, so
Gilligan.
He had a better start in that action against Labib. But Labib has got some crazy recovery speed that I didn't really know about.
I didn't.
I want to say as well.
Fuck me dead.
I want to say as well, out of their entire front four, the one player I said I was really worried about was Gillian. From what I've seen of him this season. Mate, Moreno's good. Guillermo May is good. But like something about Gillian, he just creates. He provides so much. He started every single game for them. I think he's an absolute gun. So I was a bit worried, to be honest, because we know that Risdon isn't statistically the best 1v1 defender.
No.
And having Labib down that side, yes, he had recovery pace, but I was a bit unsure. They had him locked the entire game.
Gillian had nothing to do. Like, I reckon every time he probably saw Risdon coming and thought, if I time it right, I'll be fine. But once he saw Labib, he was like, fuck.
Lizalewski and Merchel are down the other side, by the way. I forgot
Nadar Moreno?
Nadar Moreno.
He was garbage.
I forgot he was playing. Bro.
He was garbage. I mean, I saw some of his set pieces delivery, and I think there was one point where he got the ball from about 30 metres out, thought it was prime fucking Ronaldo, unleashed a shot, went straight into row, triple Z into the shed.
Beautiful.
And it's like, I thought that was the Colombian that we were going to be getting when Stan made the whole, we're signing a bums on seat level Colombian player, but I'm glad that we didn't get him. Because, I mean, I think Auckland had only a couple players that were under the age of 23 in their starting lineup. Meanwhile, we had a lot of young guys in the team. And, we'll give Pearman his credit a little bit later on. But one thing I did really want to start with the first half was that the press...
Oh, don't get me started.
The press. We've been shitting all over it, going, right, these guys press like hell in the Australia Cup. It was something good, and it's something that I was like, you know what, if we can continue to do it well, it's something that we can build on moving forward. Once we hit the A-League, it was like, what the fuck are we doing? Where do we go from here?
3 out of 4 of our boys were executing that press perfectly in the front line. The only one I would say was a tad behind was Trent Osler.
But the thing is, though, I will credit Trent, because what was clear for me, they were the left back, DeVray. Is that how you say his name? DeVray. Sorry,
Francis DeVry.
Whatever. How you fucking say his name?
He's a baller, by the way.
I reckon we targeted his side the most every time there was a press. And there's an account on Twitter called Oz Tactics. And
he's great.
A couple of times he's done some threads on Glory's press and why it's not always working. And one of the big reasons is because of timing and spacing. And there was so many times that we've seen throughout the season where, let's say, the ball has gone to the opposition left back and Risdon has had to cover too much space to try and get there, and they've often found an outlet to beat the press. But there were so many times, especially in the first half, where DeVry got the ball and he got his head up and he had like 2 or 3 Glory players closing him down. And we haven't seen that level of pressure in a long, long time. And I think for the first chance of the game, which went to Pearman, it all came because of that pressing action, which Osler did do fairly well to cause the bit of confusion. And I think he made the poor pass in midfield, and then bang, transition happened. We made it work, and Pearman was unlucky to drag his shot.
The fact that we're adding Lachlan Wales to this front line press
Holy fuck.
Oh my goodness.
I will say to Trent, obviously, look, there's a lot of things I think And you can say that about a lot of different players.
You can, yeah.
There's a lot of things that are still left to be desired in terms of performance and ability. But I will give credit to Trent where it's due. He doesn't play a game he knows he can't play. He knows he's not the quickest on the field, so he won't try and latch on to through balls and try and beat his defender by pushing in front. He will hold the play up and he'll pass it back, or he'll find tags, or he'll find Pearman. I'll give him credit to that. He did have a pretty good game. He didn't exert himself.
He's played every position for this club, bar goalkeeper and centre back. He's a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
So he's a really good guy to have around the squad. It's just like we're saying. Look, I really think that Lachie Wales is going to add an extra sort of dimension to this press, because Trent is a great player. He's obviously very smart, has a good understanding of the game. The way he plays it, you can tell his IQ is really good. But he's just not sort of the quickest. He's not really the most technical.
Doesn't really fit the system. The press
but I would still love to have him around the squad. I think he's quality.
You can make it work with Trent, but this is the thing about tailoring to different players. This isn't a sledge on Trent at all. No. It's just Lachie and he are different players. But
100%.
But the thought of adding in someone like Lachie Wales to that front line, obviously we can talk about the offensive side, but even the defensive side, it's like we can afford to press teams up a lot higher and be quicker getting onto players as the ball gets to their first touch.
I can't wait for this Wales, O'Neill and Risdon love triangle that we're going to see, man, because I know Risdon and O'Neill are like best friends, and then Wales and Risdon were like best friends when they're at Western. Man, it's going to be awesome.
That photo you posted of Brandon and Josh after the game, with their kids just sitting on the field. Oh, it's just great, isn't it? It's just the embodiment of what I think playing for the Glory is meant to be all about.
But it goes a long way in terms of creating that culture, because it just shows that they're going to do anything to play for each other. And 100%. I think for one of the big criticisms...
Can I just say
Yeah, go on.
Brandon O'Neill's daughters, I don't know if he knows this. No, let me just say. I don't know if he knows this. They call him by his nickname.
Oh, Brano?
Yeah. So there was a guy on the sideline calling out to Risdon, right? He's like, oh, Risdon. Yeah. He's like trying to get him to come over. Risdon's there playing with his kids. And Brandon O'Neill's daughter hears him, runs up to him, and she says, do you want me to go get Brano? And I was just like, oh my God.
Are you sure that wasn't Rizzo's daughter?
No, that was, I'm pretty sure that was Brandon O'Neill's daughter.
Oh, he doesn't even have a daughter.
She had O'Neill 6 on the back.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Because I think Risdon's kids had dad.
Yeah. No, that was so funny. Like, do you want me to get Brano for you? And I'm like,
do you want me to get Brano for you?
Sorry, do you want me to get Brano? And I was just like, oh, if this kid says no, it's going to be the funniest. But he said yes, but O'Neill didn't end up coming over. So it's kind of awkward.
But again, it's like Risdon in particular, I thought, in terms of his performance, I thought he was outstanding.
Oh, it was fantastic.
And I'll see if I can put on that compilation that did the rounds on Twitter after the game, where it's just all these defensive actions, and Risdon was probably in at least 3/4 of them. But it's like, and look, I'll have to bleep it out because it's a bit of a naughty word, but we played like but in the right way.
Whoa. Yeah, I agree.
So to speak, because it's like there's one thing about playing with aggression, but calculated aggression in the way in which teams don't want to play against you. That is exactly what I want from my players. It's like if we've been getting teams that have come to HBF that have bullied us. I mean, we've conceded something like 20 goals at HBF Park this season. But we played in a way that was saying to Auckland, you're not going to fuck with us.
Yeah.
We're going to fuck with you. We're going to put you on the back foot. And we were dreadfully unlucky that Carluccio's goal didn't count. Because that was... I've not seen more beautiful football from this team this season, wasn't it? At all.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, man.
I know. It's just... Bro. If... I'm going to say if we lose, I know he's gone. I'm almost 100% certain
I would put so much...
I am so upset. Yeah. I'm inconsolable. I want to know who we're planning on replacing him with, because genuinely, I can't think of a single Aussie player who puts in as much effort into a performance as Doggy Carluccio. Yeah. The guy is just he's a pure thoroughbred.
This guy's about to play against the Wanderers.
He's a fucking
and
workhorse.
Then probably suit up for the Wanderers in their next game.
Yeah.
Doggy, just please, before you go, right? I need this exact. I'm writing the script as we go here.
Yeah.
Glory 2-2, all right, with the Wanderers. It's the 90+ third minute.
Uh-oh.
All right, all hope is lost. Ball falls into the box. Doggy Carluccio, first time volley, rockets it into the top corner. Fucking celebrates with the Bay, kisses the badge. I'm staying here. And then 2 days later signs for the Wanderers.
Yeah,
it would be fucking peak.
Peak A-League.
Peak A-League.
I ain't leaving. I'm leaving. Doggy's like one guy that even if he leaves and comes back to us, I genuinely don't think there's many fans that can boo him when he comes. But fans tend to boo play, even if they're good for us and they treat the club well and they leave on good terms. They'll boo them when they come back. If I see anyone booing Doggy Carluccio, I genuinely hope that you get banned.
Well, the thing is, Doggy is a Western Sydney Wanderers product. I mean, he's come through there.
Home.
Yeah, it's his home. He's come through the ranks there. The fans love him there, and I think in the sense of putting in how we were saying about David Williams, where if this is his last game, the Brisbane game in particular, then what a way to go out.
Yeah.
Doggy's last 4 to 5 games, if these are his last few games for the club, what a way to go out. Because 100%. I think a lot of people in his first season were like, he's got something, but we want to see more.
This is what I was saying. I remember you were a bit unsure of him after that first season. But then I watched one game at Unite Round against Wellington where he stole the show, and I was like, nah, we need to keep this guy.
Yeah.
He needs to
That's
stay.
the thing. He's always had that in his locker. The question has been, how do we unlock it?
Yeah.
And I think these last few games in particular, we've just said, oi, when you get the ball, don't turn back, go forward.
I do really think in terms of his time with the club, I know he wasn't here as long as a lot of other players who've left that kind of stamp. He's I think he's entered that realm of, there's not many Glory players that leave and don't get booed, but I think he's going to be one of those.
Yeah, I agree.
Brisbane never got booed every time he came back. I don't think Bruno got booed either. I think
Bruno didn't get booed.
No.
I just don't think he will.
I certainly hope not.
Yeah.
I'm just slightly worried about what we're looking to sort of do on that left-hand side, because from what I see, I think that Zrilic really wants to mould Joel Anasmo into a sort of right winger, maybe a backup for Lachlan Wales, which leads me to believe that Osler is sort of going to become the Risdon understudy, and that maybe he's going to put more trust in Faisal and Ngo as starters.
Maybe.
But my one thing is, like, we tried that for the first 8-9 rounds and it didn't really work. And we put Doggy there, who's an absolute workhorse. He's got A-League experience. He knows his way around a football pitch. He's confident. He's got good physique. And it really worked. But you've got Faisal, he's got good physique. He's not got much confidence, so it didn't work. You got Ngo, who's got confidence but not much physique, so it didn't work. You sort of need that balance there. And there are reports, Perth Glory HQ, go follow him on Instagram, but there's reports going around about a possible Saudi signing. Now, whether that means a player playing in Saudi or an actual Saudi Arabian, we're not sure. We have no information.
We've heard a few rumours about who it might be, but I mean, I would like it if we could bring in another winger. Miliusnic, he played he played like a couple 20-something minutes against Sydney FC.
I think he might be gone.
I would not be surprised. And look, I've nothing against Nicola. I'm sure he's a lovely guy, but it's like it hasn't worked.
Especially with Lockie Wales coming in as well. It's just it's too like for like. It just seems to me that Miliusnic will be off the books soon. There's a number of other players that we can probably assume will be off the books, judging by the squads in the last 3-4
Well,
games.
surely there's a mechanism for us to loan in someone.
Well, I think that's probably what we're doing with Patrick Wood.
Well, not just with Woody, but in the sense of like a left winger, because
I wouldn't mind it.
The debate is over Quiet and Faisal whether they can cement that position, and I think neither of them have. But when you've got someone like Jalen Pearman, though, who can come into the first team and play the way in which he does, and every player starts at different levels, no one's the same whenever they get into the team. But it's like, well, if Jalen can do it, well, Quiet and Abdul, it's your chance.
Can I throw this one out there?
To start.
Can I throw this one out there?
Yeah, go on.
You want to build a positive culture. You want to get fans behind the young WA products. You want to build a WA core, and you want a new left winger who will probably be available on loan. Jacob Italiano, return to HBF Park. Ooh. Could do it.
Daniel De Silva, return to HBF Park.
Could do. Yeah. Mutual. Get him on a mutual.
Danny would suit us.
To be fair, I don't know if we're going to have the funds right now to be able to get players to mutually terminate their contracts. Because from what I've heard is that I'm not 100% certain on this, because I actually didn't know that this is how a lot of mutual terminations work. But the fee for a mutual termination is essentially just the club paying out the remainder of the contract. I didn't know this until recently, and I feel like a massive idiot because I just assumed that teams were giving away players for free, and I was like, oh, why would you do that? But no, apparently mutual terminations, you pay the remainder of the contract.
Yeah,
so
there's some severance package.
Yeah, severance package, or what's it?
There's a payout of some sort.
It's the same. It's the same thing with a lot of like young players that go into free agency and then immediately sign for another club.
Yeah,
they'll get a compensation fee for it. So I don't believe that we'll go in for any currently contracted players, which is a bit concerning considering that the Aussie free agent market, outside of a couple names such as, Joshua Laws, Lockie Wales, both of which we're very heavily linked with, is not fantastic. Especially for wingers, it's not great. Yeah. And when there's big rumours of a Saudi coming in, along with the fact that we already have Hamzaoui, who I'm pretty sure is going to stay given that he's still in and around the squad and still spoken highly of Buzz Rilic. Yeah. You've got the 2 Japanese guys all but confirmed coming in, and then a supposed Saudi Arabian coming in. Until Aoyama leaves, I don't think it's physically possible to get in a 5th visa. And even then, isn't Taggart on designated as well? So I don't even think we could get a 5th visa if we wanted to.
I'm not sure how it works, but I think, but it depends on, again, we don't know who the Saudi is for sure, and we don't know if a deal will be done to begin with. But I think the priority should be, if it is feasible and possible, to try and loan in some left winger for the remainder of the season, and then reassess when we go into the following season. But we'll park the transfer talks for now because we've got a wow goal to talk about, a wow player, Jalen Pearman. We sung his praises quite clearly after the Western United game. But that strike, wow, geez, was it 27? I think it's 27 minutes in.
Like 28. Oh, it was 29th minute.
Something like that. And
how long's it been, James, since you've seen a good goal like that at HBF Park? I know you weren't there, but like
that we scored. Specify that we scored.
Like a good goal, like a good technique, first time hit outside the box.
No, I immediately thought of Roston Griffiths' goal against Wellington years and years and years ago.
I know that. Is that the one right before halftime?
Yeah,
where he just smashed it.
Where he just smashes it and goes,
I remember that
fuck
game.
off as soon as he
that
hits
was,
it.
Oh,
that was. But I immediately got that as that type of finish because the goal itself was, again, an embodiment of us pressing. It was a loose ball. Both Taggart and Doggy fought for it.
Yep.
Doggy probably tactical fuck up, missed Taggart with the pass, but it went to Pearman.
Yeah.
And Pearman just said, all right, this is mine. I've got it.
Yeah.
And for us, it's not much of a surprise that he scored because we've seen vision of him for the under-20 national team. He scored a goal in the Panda Cup where it was from God knows how long out. Great distance.
So the Aussie Scout's been singing his praises for so long.
The Panda Cup.
Yeah, I think it's called the Panda Cup. They were the Aussies under-20s.
I don't know about that one, James.
Asian Cup. I'll put the name up, but I'm pretty sure it was the Panda Cup. But they were in some sort of tournament, and he scored a fantastic goal. And then when we were banging on about it in one of the earlier podcasts in the off-season against Western Knights, I think, where he scored that cracker, where Mazza accidentally released him, but then brought him back. This guy's an unreal talent. I know.
That whole thing was so funny. Releases player, signs him back 5 minutes later. Makes A-League debut, scores banger, in that order.
Yeah, but this is the thing. He's someone that he's come into the team and he's shown something. He's shown signs of quality. He's shown a level of composure that we've not seen in a fair bit. Someone compared him to Aaron Moy, a young Aaron Moy. During the game, I would have thought probably more like a Rogic almost.
Yeah,
Tommy's ability are better.
I see a bit more of Rogic in him, just in the lanky sort of stride.
Harry Kill.
Nah, but he's someone that's been so impressive, and I think the good thing for me after he scored, the dude couldn't wipe the smile off his face.
Oh, he loves it.
He loves it.
He was eating that shit up, bro.
So even Tags as well. But even
at half time, he was walking off with Doggy, and then Tags is waiting for him, and then his smile just goes up again. And that's just great because it's like when we've been through this shit, and it's like, oh fuck, we've lost another game 3-4, 5-0, or we've just considered a hectic bicycle kick in the 93rd minute. To then see an academy product go, right, Taggart, piss off, this is mine, and then the way in which he scored it was outstanding. He's got a great set of confidence for what. This is his third game.
18-year-old.
18-year-old third game in the league.
I'm here for
against one of the best sides in the competition.
I'm here, one of the best defensive sides too.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got to have. You got to have a pair on
big set of balls.
You've got a
big set of balls.
I honestly respect. I think this has been long overdue, and there's always that thing of when you wait so long to finally get that opportunity. Are you going to be still ready to take it? Are you on your toes ready for it? Or are you going to get complacent and then by the time it comes that you get that chance, is it already too late and you've lost that mojo? Clearly, he's been waiting for this, and clearly he stayed on his toes the entire time, ready to grab at any chance he get, and he's just taking it in stride.
He's like a pit bull tied to a light pole, just seeing a toddler walk on the other side of the street, just like waiting for that leash.
Why that analogy? Everything you could have said.
But you understood it, so it works.
But yeah.
I want to say, though, I feel there's a great sense of camaraderie between the young players and the senior players in the squad.
Yeah.
I feel like guys like Tags, Risdon, O'Neill, Williams, they're really Murchula as well. Sale, they are really, really doing well in their sort of mentorship roles, because I feel like everyone in the squad, you essentially, with the depth in the squad, for most positions, you have, when you look at it, you have like a mentorship between an old player and a younger player. And I really, really want to say, I understand that Pearman, Ngo, and Labib are all on scholarship contracts that expire at the end of this season. Please,
put them on pro deals. For
the love of Christ, do what Adelaide did with Kikianis. 5-year deal, please. Just make it happen.
Yeah.
Get that shit signed. And look, if they want to go to Europe, more than happy to send them to Europe.
Get it for a
Make
fee.
sure the bag is secured. But until then, I want to see these guys staying at the club, because if they leave to like a Melbourne City or to a Sydney FC or to a Western Sydney one, I'm going to be heartbroken.
But look at it this way. Tom Waddingham just gone to, it was in the UK. He's gone to some Peterborough?
I think so.
And Brisbane got what? Just over 400 grand for him?
400,000, yeah.
Because he was on a scholarship deal, wasn't he?
Yep, and Ariaf Piol, who I'm pretty sure is on a pro deal, no? I'm not sure if he's on a pro deal.
Scholarship or something.
Ariaf
600 grand, I think.
835,000 Australian, 500,000 euros.
Fuck. But this is the thing, right?
So MacArthur got twice the amount for Ariaf Piol than Brisbane did for Waddingham. That is nuts.
We need to be proactive and put these guys on pro deals, because I think it's no coincidence that both Labib and Pearman coming into the team, there's been a change.
Yeah.
Things are a lot more balanced. I mean, I think we've got to credit also like the senior players in the team also, particularly in this game, when we've often criticised the lack of leadership, whether it be from Dave or whether it in particular be from the senior players in the team, because we did that a lot last season. I think there's a lot of times where we've gone after senior guys who've just dropped the bar and haven't played at a good level. But this was a game that was dominated by our senior guys leading the way and our young players following. Murchula, how high he was getting to press, how proactive he was.
Speaking of following, Cam Lord follows me on Twitter now.
That's good.
Way.
Love you, Cam.
Love you, Cam.
Is the Waddingham thing, is it even confirmed?
Yeah. I don't know if it's 100% confirmed yet.
There's no
it's not 100% confirmed,
they
but pretty much
on Channel 10, I think.
Portsmouth.
No, Portsmouth were in for him.
This was a day ago.
What does it say?
Is Tom Waddingham on the move to Portsmouth? This was a Channel 10
No, I reckon they're just bigging up the Portsmouth thing because they have Yengi and Farrell there.
Yeah.
But the last time I looked at a decent source for
Sheffield
it
Wednesday
said Peterborough. Oh, it was Sheffield Wednesday, sorry.
Yeah.
Not Peterborough. It was Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah.
Last time I saw, they were leading the charge, but Middlesbrough and
I think it's safe to say that he's gone. But again, the point, like we'll reiterate again, is that you need to get these guys on pro deals because they've justified it. And
100%.
They don't. There's a big reason why that they've got there is, like I said, the point I was on before, the senior guys. So again, Murchula, how he's been with Labib, knowing how he is in the sense of someone that's very attentive to every single detail. The type of leader he is, massive. And then you got someone like Taggart, who's basically gone, all right, Pearman, you and me, we're going up.
There are only 2 cases since Castro left that I can honestly say that I've not wanted Glory to sign like a big money foreign team. Keegs and now Pearman.
Yeah.
Keegs we sold to Europe for a hefty fee, but I'm still upset about that. Keegan.
He might come back, you know.
I hope so. He's a
come back.
Phenomenal player. Oh, we need a left winger, Keegs. But look, Pearman is he moves me.
But I think there is a dilemma though for Stan and Dave in the sense of, imagine Pearman though learning under a European top playmaker.
That would be true, but how long are you going to do that for though? Because Pearman is 18. He's at that age where you want to start integrating him into first team football. This is his chance to sort of perform, catch the eyes of some top European clubs.
Yeah, I
think you stick it with him, to be honest, because there's so much more money to be made.
Stick with him for the rest of the season, I think. But then I still think that dilemma should not be ignored, because if Pearman, because he's a young guy, there's no his form isn't going to just go up like that. There will be some dips along the way.
You know
which is expected.
You know who would have been a great mentor for him?
Who?
Friend of the channel.
Marco.
Yeah,
I agree.
Marco Mancoso.
I agree.
We miss you, Marco. We hope you come to Perth, mate.
He would have been a great mentor for Keegs at the time. But even still, if you want to come to Perth, man, come
on the pod.
You know who I really
want?
On the pod. Free agent. You said he should go to the Jets, but I really want Jonathan Vieira.
Yep.
Mate, he is an absolute baller. I don't. You might not know.
James Rodriguez.
I know who he is. Then why are you giving me that face?
Because it's like. Again,
this happens all the time. 6 months ago, he said Jonathan Vieira would transform the Glory. He'd be a top tier signing. Now it's just like, Vieira,
not so good.
Just wait. Just hold on.
I've said he's good, but it's like, is it feasible for us to bring him in?
It depends. I don't know what his asking price is.
No, but the problem is though, guys,
he has had like 3 stints in the Middle East.
But
he's got the bag.
But the thing is, we've got a huge wage debt. We've got lots of shit with the cap that we've got to clear. It's not feasible right now.
I reckon.
Feasible.
No,
it would be cool.
I know it would be. I agree, it would be cool. It's not practical.
I want Castro back. He's probably the best thing expected.
Yeah, I know.
Here is how you fix the wage problem. All right. Here is how the club earns the money to fix the wage problem. What you do, right, is I've said this before. And the Glory haven't contacted me about it. But if you want to contact me about using this as like marketing or whatever, then what you do with the Zambreros partnership, all right? Yeah. Every week you have your Glory player of the round, or at the start of the season you get every player from the Glory squad to do one order or one Zambreros order or whatever, and you sell it at stadiums in Zambrero stands. I would pay if that happens next season, I will do a food review of every player's Zambrero's orders and I will rank them.
No, imagine they do it in all the stores and you walk into a Zambrero's, you go, oh yeah, can I get the ham zowie please? Like,
can I get the Riley Warland?
Can I get the Taggart? Like
the Taggart, yeah. Well,
can I get the Lockie Wales with a side of Millie Usnich, please?
But this is the thing. I hope, as Stan did say in that video that circulated on social media, but it was a very good one, I must admit. We'll win the fucker next year, whatever.
Hey.
Next year we'll win the fucker. It just shows that we've got to get our recruitment right for next season, and if we can do that, then who knows where we might end up. But again, we'll discuss transfers a little bit later because
I think we've already done it.
But we've got a bit more of the game to continue.
I'm losing my entire end of year tax return at the casino. Next year we'll win the fucker.
Next year we'll win the fucker. We'll get that print on a t-shirt. Second half.
Actually be so cold.
I think definitely we rode our luck in the second half.
Oh, you're telling me.
Well,
Guillermo May fucking not him.
Max
Mata
is shit a fucking brick.
Oh my god! I thought he was good.
Well, okay, he missed one game. Look,
not in that game.
That whole second half, like, we can praise the boys as we have been, and we can say what a great performance. I fully believe this was the first full, complete 90 minutes of football we've seen, and that was fantastic. However, once again,
going to be negative.
Yep, similar to the Western game in that first half where we could have been down a couple.
We sat too deep.
Yep. With this game, the second half, we could have been down 2-1 within 10 minutes.
Yep. Mm-hmm. We could have.
And it's just because their strikers decided they just forgot how to shoot. That's the only reason. There was no art of defending from anyone that stopped them. They were wide open, and they just missed. That's it.
Oh no, but there was still some good interventions though. From there was Risdon and Sale.
No, absolutely, but those two massive chances they had.
The Max Mata one was a big one.
Yeah, that one I couldn't believe my eyes.
Where he missed it from was like dead in front. Like it was almost impossible for him to miss.
Edge of the 6-yard box.
How the fuck did you spoon that?
It's insane.
But I think as well, we probably do have to factor in that us sitting deep probably wasn't our intent. I think because of the fatigue. But the fatigue also from the Sydney because again, we had the game on the Wednesday, probably flew back on the Thursday, had a light training session, I would imagine, on the Friday.
And then game on the Saturday.
Meanwhile, you've had Auckland, who probably got to Perth as we had our game against Sydney and had that time to acclimatise, to train.
On the other hand, we've got 2 games again in the span of a week.
That's ridiculous.
Scheduling from the A-League, by the way.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous. Thanks, guys.
If it's going to happen, you need to make sure that we're at least at home for like 3 of the 4
Remember, we
games.
used to do that. We used to have 3 or 4 long
That was a COVID.
Happened a couple times. During that February run last year with Stadge, there was like 3 home games in a row. At one point.
The City and some other game.
We had a bunch of games in we had like 4 or 5 in 2 months at home.
It was
a long stretch each time.
Yeah, well,
so they still do it, but this is ridiculous. The scheduling's actually awful.
No, especially when you talk about player welfare also.
Yeah.
But I think just on that second half, we have criticised the mentality of the group at times, and I criticised it last game against Western, because I was like, well, against Western the mentality was shit.
No, it was because Sean Dyche again.
No, we're not even just Sean Dyche.
Also, bye Baldy, bye. Yeah, sorry.
But the mentality just went.
Zankovic is going to the bubble ball.
Shut up. Shut up.
The mentality against Western was questionable because we had the game wrapped up, 90th minute, and then within 5 minutes it was gone. You know, like that South Park thing where it's like, and it's gone.
And it's gone.
That was our lead. But
how's mom?
But
sorry.
But I must admit, see now that we won again, the vibes are up.
Yeah, the vibes are great.
No, but the mentality in this game to withstand the level of attacks that we did, was massive, and you could see for the say.
It was massive, was it?
Oh, fuck off! I'm gonna find another word now. We banned wow, and now we got to ban massive. But for shut the fuck up. No, but let me get to my point. I'm just saying. 62nd minute, Sale pulls off a ridiculous save, and then a split second later, Risen launches himself and blocks a follow-up shot.
What a block, the guy. I don't know where he came from. He flew in.
Yeah, he flew in.
He came from Perth. No, I'm joking. He actually came from
How about
Bunbury.
you just shut
the fuck
please.
up.
You're down.
But did you see the reaction from Sale after?
Yeah.
Just how pumped he was, and it's
I think Sale was like, finally, my defense is doing something.
Yes! Finally! You know the crazy thing is, right? We've been arse from a defensive perspective, yet we're like in the top 4 for clean sheets in the league.
It's so funny. Hey?
It is. That's quite funny.
So funny.
How the fuck does that make sense? How is it possible?
We're actually the more we talk about this club, the more similar we actually are to Everton. Because Everton suck, right? I know, but hear me out.
Right.
Everton suck.
Sean Dyche's manager.
We're nearly in the relegation zone, right? But we're in the top 3 for clean sheets in the Prem.
That's bizarre.
We suck, but
you know why?
Because
you had Sean Dyche as your manager. He's the
and
GOAT.
also Jordan Pickford. But
no, Jordan Pickford stinks, bro.
Anyway, but it's just another similarity.
Something else that I wanted to point out from the second half.
Yeah,
Labib, that sprint in the 92nd minute.
Mate,
wowee.
Mate,
put him
how
up front.
He single-handedly got that nonchalant dreadhead sent off at the end of the game. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was his debut also, Koulibaly.
Oh, I feel so bad for him.
Yeah,
I don't feel bad.
You got to feel bad.
Good.
Yeah, he had a birthday
Welcome
a few
to the
days
big
before.
leagues.
It's his pro debut. He's 6'5", dreadhead, cares about women's rights, and he gets a red card. Come on.
Yeah.
You got to feel bad for the guy.
I don't, because he got beat. It's a welcome to the league moment. You got beat by a centre back.
He was 18.
Look, I did not realise he was that quick a bit. By no, he is a monster.
He's got I don't even know. He's got 30 acceleration but 99 sprint speed. Once he gets there, he's just
stupid. Fucking commentator said it was an Asmo.
Oh my god! You need to watch the entire clip. Even in the replays, he keeps saying an Asmo.
Keeps saying an Asmo.
The entire run. He's like, "Oh, and an Asmo's away here.
It's not
an Asmo chance now." He gets pulled down. He's just like, "Oh, and an Asmo gets pulled. Koulibaly pulls down an Asmo, and then the replay shows he's just like, and an Asmo's just getting away from there.
And it's clearly a Labib. And Labib, it's
they don't even look similar.
Yeah, one's got.
They're not even fucking close. Bro.
I know. But this is the thing, right? And it's crazy but it's crazy that Labib had that speed that late on in the game,
mate.
knowing that we had the Sydney game before, where I thought, okay, 70, 80 minutes, that guy's going to be cooked. But no, he somehow managed to find it. And the fact that he didn't just want to boot the ball out or go towards the corner flag, but he said, no, I'm going to try and run the whole length and try and score.
I fully believe
big set of balls on the guy.
If he wasn't taken out, he's going to chip the keeper or something like that. He's going to just lob it over the keeper's head or something
Chip the goalkeeper, shirts off, running straight to the bay.
100%.
Dead set.
Did you see Labib hitting the bay drum after the full-time whistle?
No.
They all went over to the bay. They did the way like that. And Labib goes up there, gets a drumstick from, I think it was Finn or Antonio, just starts banging on the drum.
He's a top guy.
You can tell he loves it, bro.
But that's the thing. We saw him, Alex, after the West United game, and face like thunder. He was pissed off. Like, even at full time, man, he was fucking filthy. And you know, he seems like he's got a good mentality, a good head on him. And having someone like, again, I'll say it again, having someone like Tommy Murchela next to him, you know, it's going to mean a lot in terms of him building his confidence.
When we were watching the game, I was pointing out to Alex, as soon as any kind of attack from Auckland was done, Tommy instantly over to Labib, pointing things out, telling him
Yeah.
where to stand, telling him what was good, what was bad.
Yeah.
Every single attack, or even as soon as Auckland won the ball back after a Glory attack, he's pointing and yelling and saying, here, move
Yeah.
move there, push here, push there. It was
You
so
can tell
good.
Adriano's a bit raw as well, because even me and Will were pointing this out. There's a lot of times where Labib is caught like a sort of step behind the defensive line.
He's not holding the line
His
very
shape's
well.
a bit off, but in terms of raw athleticism, power,
There's
aggression,
there's a lot
just
there to
everything
build on.
you need, he's there, man. The fact that he's only 18 as well is scary.
This is fun because I remember saying at the start of the season when we were, going out every week and losing by 4 or 5. I know that was very recent. I'm not saying
that was last week, wasn't
so
it?
long ago. But now, even before
the good old days.
even before this win, during that 3-0 loss to Sydney, the Western game, like the last few weeks, I was questioning a lot about identity of this club and, who's here for the club, who's here for the paycheck.
Yeah.
I think the last few games we've done have really showed there's actually quite a few players, especially the younger ones as well, who are here for the club.
Yeah.
They're here, like, you got your Labib, Lizolowski, Taggart.
I do feel
Rizzo.
like that's the sort of benefit of building that WA core. Like, while you might sacrifice a bit on quality,
you can have a mixture though.
You can have a mixture, and I think that's what we're going for with these new signings coming in. But the sort of just feel around the club is just generational.
But not even
Doggy Carluccio, man. If you didn't tell me he was a Western Sydney boy,
I would have thought it was WA.
I would have thought he grew up in the slums of Kelmscott or something, man. Like, that guy fights for everything.
But the thing is,
no, like not in a bad way.
No,
not in a bad way.
What, in the same way Rudin was saying Marcelo's from the favelas.
Yeah.
That's why he gets red cards. He's from the favelas.
No. But like, you know what I mean.
I do
right?
know what you mean.
The guy's got that sort of never say die, fight hard, win everything attitude.
But this is the thing. It's like everyone bought in, and this was the game where everyone bought in, and I think it's only fair that we have to give credit to David Zrilich.
Hi, Dave.
Because
me again.
I'll be honest. TikTok can go.
I'm not done yet.
By the way, can go suck a fart.
By the way, we are just over. Actually, no, we are exactly 34 days away from Will having a crash out.
Still
possibly.
TikTok. I'm not done with TikTok. But this TikTok.
Me after someone tells me IG Reels are better.
Hey, everyone. TikTok. I'm not done because my issue was never really with Dave. I never said I want answers from Dave. It was never Dave. It was Ross.
Rosario.
Okay. One really nice home win against First. Absolutely bloody brilliant. Over the moon. Couldn't be happier. However, in 34 days' time, if we've gone back to where we have been the last few weeks and losing home games, like I said, if we lose to Western Sydney on Tuesday, I'm not saying we will, I still don't reckon. I don't recognise the club because it's still bad. We're still second bottom. Let's not take the piss here.
Let's not take the piss here.
Still TikTok because there's still nothing, and I'm just waiting. But if in 34 days, if we've got like a 5-game win streak, by all means, no more TikTok. I'm happy.
Yeah, but even still, we have not seen a performance in years where every single player put in 110%.
Completely agree. Yeah.
And this is the thing. It's like, my criticisms, look, I've criticised Stan and Ross and other pieces, but David, my focus was on the last few weeks. But that we don't get that win unless David gets the players in the right frame of mind 100%. And gets the game plan absolutely spot on, and he did.
Can I just say one quick thing, right?
Go on.
One little thing that I had a problem with Dave in that game.
What?
I said this to Will as well, and I don't know if this is true.
I don't remember this.
I don't know if this is true, right?
What?
But there was a point in that game when Hamzaoui was about to get subbed on, okay?
Yep.
No.
No. Listen here.
No, I know what you said.
Hamzaoui about to get subbed on, okay? And we're like, okay, he's going to replace Zach. Zach's on a yellow card. Makes sense. And then Zach goes down injured 30 seconds later. And then he calls Quire and Go, who wasn't going to get subbed on. I think that he was actually going to put Hamzaoui at left wing again. And the only reason Hamzaoui went at left back is because Lizolowski went off injured. So Quire went at left wing.
No.
James, you do not understand.
No, he has a
he
point.
was not calling Quire and Go. No. He was warming up. They were walking, doing whatever.
He's right.
Lizolowski goes down. Immediately, Zrilla turns to the group and he goes, Quire!
Yeah, no, it was going to be Hamzaoui on either for Zach or for.
But he was.
Luckily, we didn't have to witness that because Hamzaoui is much better as a left back than he is as a left wing.
But Quire's never played fucking fullback. He was never bringing him.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that Hamzaoui originally.
Hamzaoui was going to go left wing.
Lizolowski wasn't going to come off, and Hamzaoui was going to go left wing. The only reason Quire got brought on was because Liza.
Okay.
So Hamzaoui was then left back and Quantum Go was left wing because he wanted to put someone new on the left wing.
It would have been Osler, would have been, or
it was going to be Doggy coming.
It would have been Doggy for Hamzaoui, that left wing.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for, so it was going to be
O'Neill. It was going to be O'Neill for Pearman and Hamzaoui for Doggy, is what it was going to be.
Well, maybe he didn't do that. Fortunately.
So Joel and Asmo looked good off the bench.
Joel and Asmo did look good off the bench, but I think praise Dave again for the game management, because again, it's like how many times have we seen Glory, not even just this season, but in previous seasons, be in a winning position, and you're like, fuck, just please hold on. Please hold on. Like, don't try and cough it up in the last few minutes. You know, we saw it loads of times under friggin' Stadge at times. I think Garcia didn't really happen too much, but definitely the last 12 to 18 months, we've had a bit of a problem with holding on to a win.
Yeah.
But the players fought, tooth and nail. And again, I'll praise him again because I've been quite critical towards him. David got the game plan absolutely spot fucking on. The press was very good. 100%. The difference in behaviour once we won possession, because it wasn't just like, let's get the ball and then, what do we do? No, there was a whole shift. As soon as we won the ball in the midfield or front third, it was bang.
The fullbacks are getting forward a lot better now. There's a lot more sort of
interplay with the front four, 100%. Which we hadn't seen at all this season.
Yep.
And it was like we saw that a lot at times during the cup, which is again what I said, it felt like a cup game because we were doing a lot of quick interplay and quick passing.
And you've been showing me some of the stats from Masao, the left back that's coming in, right?
Yes.
And his completed crosses and stuff like that. I'm excited. Seeing some of the positions that Lizalaski was getting into and how much space and how much time he was getting on that ball. Well, I'm excited.
We may as well discuss these new signings because I'm not sure if our viewers know too much about these guys.
Can I just say one more thing quick?
Of course.
No.
I know that we were... Shush. I know those last few corners that we were just time wasting, right?
Yeah.
I just love the irony that we had a corner and then had Nathaniel Blair there waiting to come on, took the corner, went out for a goal kick, and then we brought on Nathaniel Blair. I just like the irony of having like a 6'3", 6'4", tall striker who is great in the air, not bringing him on for a corner and then bringing him on afterwards after the ball's gone out and you've lost possession.
Yeah, but what was also great though was the seeds at full time. I mentioned to you guys off camera, but seeing the reaction from everyone, including Gareth. Your celebration was caught on.
I haven't seen scenes at full times like this since we won the league. It was incredible.
No, remember the Brisbane win at home?
Oh, the 3-2.
Similar. I think it was similar then. But this one just felt like a big relief. And even Dave was getting around.
I've got to go back and watch that vlog.
All the fans were getting among it. And I would like to hope with these transfers that we've got, because I was saying to a few guys after the game, I was like, imagine we played Auckland with Yuto Misao, Takuya Okamoto, Lockie Wales, and even Patrick Wood.
I froth at the mouth thinking of that because that's just it's an upgrade in every position, I think.
Yep.
But also just want to touch on what you said really quick about Dave and criticism. You're only as good as your last performance, in my opinion. That's how that works. And
so when you're the best manager in the league.
Shut up. No. And when you are new to doing anything, whether it's literally anything in life, you need to learn from your mistakes when you make them. And it's pretty clear to me, at least, that Dave is learning from his mistakes. Yeah. You could see the difference. We were one goal ahead in going into the last 20 minutes. This time he did things differently. He went about it differently, and he got a different result. And that to me is showing that
he's evolving.
And I love a manager who's willing to admit when he's wrong and willing to change how he does things to make things work and not be so stuck. Because we've had that criticism of Stadge, where when things weren't working, he was like, no, we're going to keep doing the same thing until it works.
And it just wouldn't work.
The first sign of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again until it works. So credit to Dave. He changed. He did what he had to do. He didn't stick. He didn't get, he didn't get stubborn. He did what he had to do, and I respect that. So Dave, well done, mate.
We did very well to get our first home win in 329 days. Just to give you a bit more scope on why we were particularly happy after the win on Saturday night.
I wonder why I'm so depressed all the time. Then I hear things like this. I'm like, oh, that's why, right? Oh.
So the transfers. So we'll discuss the Japanese boys because
so funny. How like a year ago, not even a year ago, like a few years ago, when we were before we went to shit under Richie.
Yes.
how we could get wins and not perform well and be like, I wasn't happy with that. That was not great. Yep. And then nowadays we get one win at home and we're like, yes! Oh, we're so back! Yes!
Yeah, well, I enjoyed watching the replay back. I probably should have gone to the game if I could. But yeah, these new signings...
Stay away, please.
Yeah, I've already had a few people say stay away. So, the new signings, the Japanese players. So... My understanding is that there will be short-term deals.
Okay.
And if things go well, then we'll keep them on.
Good.
But one of them is Yuto Misao, already following Glory on Instagram.
Lovely.
33 years old, can play as a left-back or a centre-back. I think he'll be playing as a left-back.
Mm-hmm. Probably, yeah.
Some of his numbers from the J1. So the two Japanese guys that we've signed, I know we've criticised the visa signings before, in terms of their resume.
These ones actually have highlights and transfer market value.
I'm just waiting for someone to jump out and say, next Cascade Otter.
No.
Japanese left back.
No, but the good thing is that they've got a shitload of experience.
Yep.
Misao won the Champions League, I think, with a club. I can't remember which. But clearly a very experienced player. Was elite for his percentage of defensive duels won and was elite in compared to other fullbacks in the J1 league for cross completion also.
Lovely. It's the two things you need.
There's a great video that I can share of him scoring a free kick.
Oh, really? He's a free kick taker.
Will, don't get hyped, bro.
No,
guy scores one free kick.
I'm No, but I'm just saying, when's the last time we've actually had a free kick taker and
this guy would hate Mbappe.
You knew that you could put on an 18-yard free kick or whatever, 20 yards out, and you can go, he could score this.
Marinkovic.
Yeah, exactly. How long ago was that?
Long time ago.
That was before Papa, wasn't it?
Before
Papa.
Was.
It's so long.
So Misao, I think, will be a good addition. And then Takuya Okamoto played for a club called Shonan Belmare. I am a little bit skeptical on how it's going to work.
Yeah.
I've heard he could be played as a centre-back, as like that Tomoki Imai type player, possibly, which might suggest
You're
that...
just saying that because he's from the same country, Jay.
No, because... No.
Alex, stop.
Not at all.
Stop trying to get him in trouble.
I'm sorry.
You're the one who mispronounced their name.
Far post Perth. No, I'm not trying to get your boy in trouble.
I'll tell you why.
He's a good man.
I did have a few conversations with one of the guys involved with the deal, and so that's why it's believed that he could be played as a centre-back.
This guy. Same agent as well, right?
Yeah, same agent
who
did the deals for Ibusuki and Imai, so these guys must be somewhat half decent.
I don't know how you do it.
What?
You just talk to these random people. Right.
No, I had them... the guy reached out to me, in fairness.
Of course he did.
He was actually at my birthday.
It's insane. This guy, we're talking about, who could we possibly bring in? We see a tweet about a possible Saudi Arabian. And we're like, what? No way. Saudi Arabian just goes, I know. Why didn't you say anything?
Can you tell us what it... No.
Because I didn't know who it was.
No, but he's like...
At the time.
But you just did not tell us anything.
Sorry. I meant to say, like, I got told of that rumour at the start. I forgot to add on that.
And we're like, okay, James.
I know who
okay,
wow.
Mate, he was going through the 3 Gs. Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss, bro. He was going through all of it. He's going through all of it. He's just like,
Jesus.
I know who the Saudi Arabian signing is, and I'm not telling you.
No.
Deal with it.
I should have
worded it. I should have worded it in the group chat a lot better.
Stupid ass, bro.
Both of you's got the shit.
Bro forgets that we run a fucking podcast together.
Sorry.
This ain't the
Sorry.
No.
Sorry.
This ain't the old Instagram group chats, bro.
No, but
when are you going to tell us that Piacific Diogabire is going to be the next fucking...
Not a fucking chance.
No,
but another point as well is that Okamoto has played over 100 times per transfer market at centre-back.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did do a little bit of research there, but he was... I had to use his numbers from 2023 because he didn't play too much last year.
Question about him playing at centre-back a lot. Is that in a back 3 or a back 4?
Back 3.
Okay, so right, the vision
that is similar to
back
Risden.
3.
Back three is what I would imagine we might be transitioning to.
But I was going to say that is very similar to Risden in that he played right centre back and a back 3.
But I think Risden, we might want to play Risden higher or alternate
I agree.
Right wing back,
alternate the two.
Yeah, 100%.
Because Okamoto is particularly good with his crosses, defensive actions not too bad. Also, can carry the ball fairly well, and I think could be a half decent player depending how he transitions in.
I like the whole. If it is, it's just 6 months, and then we can add them on if we think they're fitting.
See how we go.
That's good. That's good. That's good money. That's good business.
Patrick Wood is set to be coming in on loan. I imagine this is as a replacement for David Williams.
Yeah.
I think this is probably a last chance to loan type of thing for Patrick Wood.
Is his contract up in 6 months as well?
No, he re-signed with Sydney to 26, I think, at the start of the year. But Woody's just. I'll let you go. Woody's someone that is clearly got a lot of potential. We saw that in the NPL New South Wales for Sydney FC.
Yeah.
And when he broke into the scene, he was someone that had promise. But I think he, maybe for a few reasons, hasn't had that luxury of having consistent minutes. Yep. And one thing he will be hoping for is consistent minutes. Yep. And if he can perform well, then I'd like to see more of him. But I think we need to see Patrick Wood playing like a man possessed, like all the boys were against Auckland, because every single player was fully in tune and willing to do whatever. And he's clearly got a lot of qualities, and I would love for him to be learning under someone like Adam Taggart. But yeah, for me, he needs to ideally, if possible, come to Glory and hit the ground running.
I was really excited about the Patrick Wood transfer. I know a lot of people were skeptical about it because I missed that one goal one time.
Yeah.
I was excited about it, and I said this to you as well. I said I cannot think of many better young Aussie strikers to really learn under Taggart at this stage to possibly usurp Taggart in the next 2 years than Patrick Wood. Maybe Archie Goodwin as well, but Patrick Wood's one of the top ones.
Yeah.
And then I heard it was a 6-month loan, and I was like,
it could. Well, we don't know.
We don't know the length, but
this could be an option to buy.
I was going to say, I'm really hoping that this could be sort of similar to what we were doing for Faisal. And this isn't confirmed or anything, but I just had the feeling that when we signed Faisal on a 1-year deal, I had the feeling that this was sort of going to be a trial year for him. And if things worked out, they went well, then he would get a multi-year extension, or it would have been worked into his 1-year deal.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that there is some sort of
mechanism
clause in this agreement that says if all parties agree on extending past the 6-month loan, then a mutual termination can be agreed upon. Or something like that. That there'll be some clause that can be met that says whether it's number of appearances or whether just both Glory and Wood want it to happen, that a mutual termination can take place and maybe Glory just pays out the remainder of the contract. I would honestly be fine with that.
Yeah.
Because Patrick Wood is really good and has a lot of potential, but I don't see the point in bringing in a player on a 6-month loan if they're not, I guess, more experienced or able to add sort of more qualities like that.
You're not signing like a Brendan Santalab, let's say, who's going to immediately do something.
Yeah, exactly.
Ever.
No, Brendan pre the chip shot.
Don't.
In the grand final.
I don't want to hear that name. Stupid.
Want some sauce with those chips, mate? The amount of times Vass and Jovan have sent me that GIF. I hate it.
What are your thoughts on Wood? Like, we've watched a lot of A-League, obviously, collectively. We've seen a lot of him when he has played for Sydney, as avid football watchers.
Yes.
Genuinely, like without filter, I just want to know, give me, like, when I say Patrick Wood, give me a one word. What is the first thing that comes to your mind when I say it? I'll try it. Patrick Wood.
Wood.
Unsure.
Okay.
Wood.
Of course.
Yeah, you're funny. Anyway, I'd say...
Nah, is it one word?
One word only to describe Patrick Wood.
I said unsure.
Unsure.
It's hard to find one word.
It's hard to find one word.
Massive.
I'd say...
Potential?
I was going to say potential.
I was going to say potential, maybe.
I just think... He's quite similar to a lot of players we've had in the past, to be fair.
Untapped potential.
Where we look at the talent level and like the ceiling, and we're like, okay, he's a pretty high ceiling. He's clearly got the technical ability to do what he needs to do. However, for whatever reason, as I clearly am not a pro athlete, I don't quite know how it works. Shut up. I clearly don't know how it works in terms of like when a player has so much potential, there seems to be quite a few roadblocks to them to unlock it. And I just don't know with Paddy if it's genuinely just because he's getting a lack of minutes, that's the only reason he hasn't found it, or if there's something else. But just off his performances from Sydney, apart from a couple games, it's not...
You're not going wow.
I would say he's more of a diamond in the rough. He looks like a player that could be a really, really solid striker, maybe even up to national team standard.
That's a...
Listen.
I'd rather Mitchell Duke.
Oh. Doors that way, buddy.
Well, so
See you later.
I don't mean for the Socceroos.
No,
guys, he's going away on holiday, but Will has been permanently removed from his post of the podcast.
Bring back Josh.
Look, no. But here's the thing.
Respect
Australia has a luxury right now, which is for years and years we've been crying out for that one sort of just great national team striker. And
you're not saying it's Patrick Wood.
No, I'm not saying it's Patrick Wood. I'm saying we've got plenty of really good young players coming out that could fill that role if they reach their potential.
Yes.
You've got Jovanovic, you've got Waddingham, you've got Mohamed Toure, you've got...
could even argue Kaczarski, maybe.
You could argue Kaczarski. You could make an argument for guys like Patrick Wood and Sapsford to even sort of fill roles in the gaps there. But you've also got to remember, Yengi's quite young as well. You've got Stamatolopoulos, he's quite young as well. You've got all these other guys, Yashe Novello, who we talked about on the pod a long time ago. And then outside of that, there's plenty of other young Aussies coming through. Look at Melbourne City. They've got half of them there, Mehmedi and Soleimani. They look great. But you've got all these young guys coming through. Australia is spoiled for choice right now with promising young strikers. It's about developing them. It's about developing them properly and getting them to Europe at the right time.
Correct.
But Patrick is a guy, for me, that has really good potential. I see qualities in him that
what do you see?
He can kick a football.
No, I see good movement. I see
I agree with that.
I see decent football IQ. I see a good frame. I see a good build. I see good athleticism. I don't think anyone has just jumped out at Patrick Wood and said this is going to be a world-class player like they did with Aaron Kunga or Cole or Kachati. But Patrick Wood has got a lot of good qualities. I think he can be a really, really solid striker.
The striker doesn't know how to finish.
But put it.
That is the Darwin Nunez. That is the Darwin Nunez complex, bro.
But put it this way: I think if we really invest into him, because some of his numbers from the NPL in New South Wales were quite impressive, and if David is fully because. Like we mentioned before in a lot of podcasts before, David's background is youth development and youth development at a high level, both here in Australia and obviously overseas with Leipzig.
Yep.
So you've got that as an advantage. David also being a striker in his day also is an advantage. Yeah. Adam Taggart being one of the best strikers in the A-League is also an advantage. And there's more similarities with, let's say, Patrick Wood and Adam Taggart than there is to Nathaniel Blair. And that's not a sledge on Blair. It's just in terms of the two play styles.
The play styles,
So for me, when I've watched Patrick Wood every now and again, I've loved his movement in behind and his willingness to press. And look, definitely his link-up could improve, touch, finishing in particular. But there's enough tools in his toolbox that you can, I guess, mould him into a decent player. And that will be the hope. And that's what This is a big opportunity and a good opportunity, I think, for Patrick Wood to establish himself and sort of go to Sydney FC. This is what you're missing out on.
Yeah. I just want one more question before we move on from him.
Go on.
In terms of strikers that we bring in as a Willow replacement for a 6 month and then possibly for another year if it goes well, would you rather Patrick Wood or Bruno? I know one's young, one's old, but
I know what you mean.
What would you rather?
In terms of right now, Bruno. But
obviously, but in terms of project,
if you said to me. If you said to me 6 month loan and then they sign a contract afterwards, not specifying the length,
correct,
would 100%, because I would put him. Listen, 6 monther and then 2 year deal with an option for a further year. That's what I would put him on, honestly. But if you said 6 months and then a year if you need him, Bruno, 100%, because Bruno's going to be that sort of just dog that's just going to work.
Yeah.
70th minute, you need someone to help with the press, Bruno. 70th minute, you need someone to sort of, bring a bit of experience to help see out the game, Bruno. You need a leader in the locker room,
there's that attachment
Bruno.
to Perth already.
Absolutely. And then you need someone that the fans can get behind, Bruno.
But at this point in time, though, it looks like Bruno's back in the plans at Melbourne Victory with...
Good for him.
We
love Bruno on the podcast.
And then just finally, we've touched on him before, but Lockie Wales, I think that's a signing that we've been, wanting for a little bit.
What are you doing?
I was trying to make a wild noise.
No,
what?
Stan doesn't sound like that, mate, but good try.
I thought you were trying to do a Scooby-Doo impression.
Lockie Wales? Raggy, we signed Wales.
What noise is a whale make?
Huh? I don't know.
A whale?
Yeah, that's what I said.
I think we've just lost all our viewers.
Sorry.
But Lockie Wales, I think across the panel, that's a good sign.
Yeah, Will Franey is not coming on this podcast, boys, let's be honest.
Will,
if you're watching this, he will not be here next week. He is gone for 2 months.
Here.
Any professional players, he will be gone for 2
months.
months.
No, but Wales I'm excited to see. I think it will. Teams will shit the bed if someone like Pennington or Gamulka or O'Neill get their head up and see Lockie Wales on his bike. They're gonna go, uh-oh.
You know how I could genuinely tell that Wales would make a difference to this team.
Yep.
Is that when you put in the group chat, and obviously this is all just speculation, but a couple of weeks ago we heard from a source that Wales wasn't going to be signing with Glory. In the space of like 5 minutes, every single person in the chat sent out about 5 messages just going, fuck, shit, no, fuck.
Yeah.
That's when you can tell that we are desperate for that signing.
We desperately need him.
But yeah, I think he's a good age. Get him on a 2.5-year deal, I reckon.
Yep.
Great age.
And look, you just had to be that guy, didn't you? You just had to be that guy.
How old is he?
Get him 27. Yeah. Look, get him to mentor Joel and Asmo if he's going to stick around, and if Joel's not going to stick around, then find another good, promising young right winger that can fill the gaps.
But in the short term, though, Lockie's exactly what we need.
Literally
100%.
They're literally what we need.
Yeah.
Godsend is crazy, brother. The glazing is
Godsend for the state that we are in.
It is.
Yeah.
He is like,
for the state that
is
we're
wow
in.
for me.
Yeah.
Wales is wow.
And then a couple of rumours. So there's obviously...
It's like signing Mbappe for Quins FC.
Shut the fuck up.
Why do you say
there's there's Josh Laws was sided with Stan Lazaridis at the Sydney game.
He was.
Tas Mortakudis, we've apparently been in discussions with him and he's following us on Instagram. And then one that I found today, Sam Sutton from the Wellington Phoenix.
Hi, Sam.
Recently started following Glory on Instagram. I don't know why.
This is how we get half of our transfer rumors.
Yeah.
For the people wondering where we get these crazy fucking ideas from, we just go through every pro player in the world and just go through their Instagram.
Or even just like seeing like who's following Glory recently, and just seeing that. Oh, Tas and Sam Sutton have recently started. I tell you what, Sam Sutton at left back. If we can get him this year,
if
or
we
next,
are going 3-4-3 next season,
No. Win the
realistically, going into next season, if you play a 3-4-3 with Sam Sutton and Risdon as your wing backs, right, and then a back three containing Alex Grant, Murchula, and Labib, or even Alex Grant, Lijalaiski, and Labib.
Yep.
Or if one of these Japanese guys works out.
We are so there. My God.
All it takes is one win, and we're already talking like this.
No, genuinely.
Yeah.
No.
All right, moving on. So tomorrow, Western Sydney Wanderers, Alan Stajic, miss you, mate. He returns with Juan Mata making his
goat
return to Perth for the first time since 2019, I think, when United did a tour of Perth or Australia, more like.
I might have to be my manager.
So they're undermanned, Western Sydney.
Yeah,
possibly no Clisby, pending on the squads. Alongside Gabriel Kleur, Dylan Chiklerna, and Jung Tae-wook. So defensively, I think they'll be vulnerable, but offensively, I am shitting my pants a little bit at the prospect of your Barella, your Milanoviches, your Kriev, Subsid, Mata.
just left out.
You can tell that team been playing as a number 6.
Mate, so dumb. The balls and like the amount of attacking quality they have, and they've got Juan Mata playing at CDM. Like
that is such a stats
thing, bro.
That's such a stats fucking move.
Juan Mata,
you're playing as a 6.
Stats looked like Juan Mata and said, "You remind me of someone I know."
G. Colley.
You remind me of someone I used to know. His name's G. How he hasn't been picked up by Western Sydney yet, I do not know.
Apparently he's going to the USL, the second division in America.
Really?
G. Colley, yeah.
That wouldn't be a bad move for him.
Yeah, but on the Western Sydney game, what are our thoughts? Can we make it 2 wins in a row?
No.
Fucking hell.
No, yes, no, we can. Sorry. I'm not letting myself be sucked in to this. I can't. Until we get back-to-back home wins, I'm not letting myself get sucked back into it. Can we win? Absolutely we can. I think...
Can we do it? Yes, we can.
I think realistically, we've shown we just beat the best team in the league. So can we beat anyone? Yes, we can.
But will we?
No.
Well, this is the thing. All we want is consistency.
Gearing up. Here
we just want consistency. It's like the players showed that they can perform well. They can put in good performances. They can beat good teams. Don't fuck it up. You're more than capable. Don't fuck it up. Beat West Sydney Wanderers, go into the break, get ready to beat Newcastle, then Victory, then Mariners, and then you never know, we might win the fucker.
All right, let him go.
But Alex,
look.
Oh no, he said it.
There we go.
Yeah.
If Man City can go on an 18-game win streak, then we can too, guys.
Yeah, but City's not a real club, though.
Yeah, City's actually a championship club.
Yeah.
Says the Everton fan. You're probably getting relegated.
115 charges. What?
Actually.
What the sigma? So, anyways. So, what are your thoughts?
Look, I don't think we. Shut up, guys. Shut up, James. Look. I don't think we win 2 on the bounce. I think we could get a draw out of this. I truly believe that. A win might be a bit of a stretch. But look, I keep saying it. In the way that we're playing, especially against Auckland and for a large portion of that Western United game, I don't see a reason as to why we can't.
There's no reason why we can't do something good.
Exactly.
100%.
But
this is the glory.
I am mindful that this is Perth Glory.
Yep.
But I think it is written in the stars that Doggy Cullicher scores a last-minute winner, 3-2 win for the Glory against the Wanderers. I'm calling it. Another one of my dog shit call. Nah.
Well, RBTV won't be too happy if it's Doggy that's getting the winner last minute because, they've had so long between wins.
If Doggy doesn't play, that's actually going to be so sad.
I actually he's going to be left out of the squad, I reckon. I reckon it might be part of the deal that he doesn't play against the Wanderers just in case he's an injury.
Oh, that would be so trash.
I reckon he will.
Play him.
No, I don't.
David and Stan and Ross, fuck it. Play him.
That's my call. I reckon.
Cop the fine.
I reckon
sell a house. And
not as bad as the ATO coming after us.
All they have to do is sell one house, and that's the fine cops right there.
Yeah. No, but this game, I think, given how fragile Western Sydney are at the back, it's there for us, and I think we've shown, given the fact that we've kept more clean sheets than Western Sydney, that we can keep teams
especially
out.
with Pearman and how he's sort of brought Taggart into
the question is, how long can we run out until we get fatigued? Because I was speaking with a good friend of the show, Cam Lord, today, in the fact that there's a lot of managing of the loads leading into the game because of the cumulative load from even as far back as the West United game. Yeah. Factoring in Sydney, you start to feel a bit shitty after 2 days after your game. So I think it's going to be really important that, for me at least, try and kill the game in the first 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, and I know it's shitty because it's against the Wanderers, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw quite a bit of rotation.
I think we need it.
With the schedule that we've got going on, obviously.
You've got a big break after, so...
We do. I will just say, though, I would expect Brandon O'Neill probably to start this game.
Yeah.
I would expect that.
Yeah.
Look, maybe he only does 45 minutes, maybe he does 60, maybe he plays a full 90 or whatever.
But Joel as well.
What was that?
Yeah, I reckon we see a bit more of Joel.
Yeah.
I would like that. I would appreciate that. I do think that maybe, depending on how Lizalowski's feeling, I don't know how he was with that injury. He looked fine coming out the stadium.
He's a tough bastard.
Yeah, he'd be fine.
I don't think Hamzaoui starts here, but I wouldn't be,
Start him at left wing.
Stop it. I wouldn't be like jumping out of my seat like, oh, what? Like if it did happen. But I do think that maybe Pearman gets rested. Maybe.
Nah.
I wouldn't.
But you got
to play well for him, though, in fairness.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to see him get rested. I would like to see him play throughout the entire game. Yep. But I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a start for either Bagaria or for Nathaniel Blair.
Or even Faisal. Yeah. Because again, this is the thing. Like I mentioned,
I do want to see how Tags and Blair can sort of work as a striker duo throughout a whole game.
But this is the thing.
We've never really seen it for more than 10 minutes.
But even still, for some of the young guys, like we mentioned with Pearman came in, grabbed his opportunity with both hands. For the young guys, you've got to grab the opportunity with both hands because you never know when you might get it next.
You know what? For the sake of just doing it, let's go across the panel and let's give our wanted or not. I guess wanted / predicted.
Okay.
Predicted starting 11 for the Wanderers game.
I think, obviously Sale
and goal, 100%.
Because, by the way, as well, we did do a poll on who the viewers thought was the man of the match.
Yes.
I don't think you heard what he said, but...
Sale.
Yes.
No, what'd you say?
He said he wants Musti Amini.
To start.
Yeah. Do that.
But we did do a fan poll and Sale came out as the winner for man of the match, so congratulations.
Deservedly so.
Prestigious award.
Back four. Do we make any changes?
Someone say back four.
Fuck off.
I think same back four except for Zach, purely because of that little knock.
Who do you think he...
They might...
Hamzaoui.
Yeah, Hamzaoui. I just purely think because it's not worth risking it. We don't know the extent of how bad it was.
Yeah.
But Dave might just go, you know what, it's not worth putting you back out there after that. We'll just give you a rest.
Yeah. Even if it was just a cork or something, man, like those can get like...
That's what I'm saying.
I'm expecting him to start. If he gets dropped for Hamzaoui, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I'd want him to start.
Either way, maybe.
Attacking midfielders, the midfield four.
The midfield four. I'm going to say Look, there's what I want and then there's what I expect.
What do we think?
What I expect is going to be... Okay. What I expect is going to be Quar off the left, Osler off the right, and then Brandon O'Neill and Pennington as the midfield four. But I would like to see... over Osler starting Joel and Asmo if you're not going to start Doggy. This is working on the assumption that Doggy's not able to play. If he's able to play,
we don't even know if that's part of the...
Look, if he's able to play, start him left wing. 100% start him left wing. I think the best winger pairing that we can probably go for in this game, if you are looking for a team that can just go out and just attack it at West Sydney here.
Doggy and an Asmo?
Doggy and an Asmo, 100%.
I don't
maybe you can make the argument for Quar and Go coming off that right-hand side, but... I think Doggy's been in incredible form, and it'd be a really nice send-off if he could put in a good performance against the club he's going to. And it would do good for him as well.
What's the deal with Millet? He's not injured, is he? He's not there.
This is because
what if he got dropped because we were going to do a rest thing and he's going to come straight into the starting lineup?
Yeah, but I'm sorry, I don't get confident when I see him run because I just think he doesn't want to fully go because he might. And I can understand it because you've had 2 bad hamstring injuries in a row. But I just don't get the sense of there's the sprint and then there's the sprinting where you're actually fully going at it. And I don't think, from the current evidence of what we've seen when he's played, Millie's able to get into that form of being able to sprint at high intensity. But if he can do that, I wouldn't say no to giving him a start. And then you bring on a Carluccio or an Asmo or someone like that.
If he's healthy, I want him to start, so I can see it.
I also wouldn't say no to giving Pennington a rest. Pennington a rest.
That's fair.
And then have Gamorka and O'Neill.
So you want to lose?
No, I'm wanting to make sure that our players can be as fresh as possible.
But Peno's like the key.
Yeah, I know, but you bring him off the bench.
For who? Who starts over him?
Brano.
Right, so we're 3-0 down.
Brano and Gamorka.
So we're 3-0 down at half-time, and Peno comes on.
Nah, come on.
I don't think that...
See the vision,
I don't think that Gamorka and Brano's a very good midfield pairing.
It's stale, but what it does is at least gives us a bit of security if we get done in transition.
Yeah, but we're going up against a team that's not particularly strong defensively. I would have hoped that we had someone in there with a bit more attacking nous. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, you can keep Pennington in there.
And also, Gamorka's always the one that gets subbed first compared to Pennington.
Yeah, and then you just bring on... Would you still go with Pierman and tag it up top?
No, I think I would... look, if Pierman's fit to play, then he's fit to play. But I'm going to work on the assumption that maybe they'd want to give him a bit of rest just because it has been a heavy schedule.
Yep.
And this is his first sort of few games playing professional football. I probably would start Tags and Blair. I can't lie.
Well, it'd be good for Blair to play against his old club.
I like how we're doing all this. Oh, maybe he'll be rested. And Taggart's like, no, Taggart's playing.
Oh, no, 100%.
Taggar doesn't get rest.
No.
Give him a Red Bull in a vein.
Well, if Pat Wood comes in, if and when.
Or do you go with Bagaria? Sorry.
What, Bagaria and Blair?
No, Bagaria and Tags.
No, we tried that experiment a few times. It didn't work.
But I just don't think that they combine with each other the same way that Jalen and Tags do.
I know that, but you got to compromise with. You don't want to run the ball to the ground.
Would you guys take Faisal with Tags? Because he played a bit more central in some of the Australia Cup games where he would cut inside more.
No.
So he has played on the inside a few times.
I just think that I think left winger is his long-term position, but I do want to see him work on his confidence in carrying the ball more because he doesn't carry it that much. I think if he can carry it more and gets a bit more confidence to go into those central areas, then he's going to be a lot better.
Bring him off the bench for Doggy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Him or Quar.
Score predictions?
Oh, look, it's going to be a tough one. I want to say that we'll get the bounce off of the good home performance. I'm also mindful that we're probably not going to have that many people there watching the game, considering that it is school holidays, but it is a Tuesday night at 6:45.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say... Oh, God. I'm going to say a 2-2 draw. But I think that we can possibly scrape out a win.
If we're playing our strongest lineup, like we're all just assuming he's going to be rested, if Dave just goes, nah, screw it. We get a big break coming up, guys. You guys can play one more game and then you have a big break. Yeah. I think we win 2-1 if we play our strongest lineup. If we do go for that resting thing, I think we probably will lose. Not because we're incapable of winning, but because if we're going to go do a massive shake-up of the lineup, the guys are so young and experienced with each other that they're not going to know what to do as much as having more experienced lads in the team would be. But in terms of best 11, I do think we win.
I see 2 possible outcomes.
Yeah.
Either a 3-2 win for us, because the game will get quite open, or a 2-1 win to Western Sydney.
So you're not predicting like a massive 3 or 4-0 loss Like
no, it'll be tight.
So what you're saying is you don't think that... I was going to say this as well. I genuinely don't think that rotation in the lineup is going to have much to do with how many we concede. It's just how many we're going to score.
Yeah, well, but even still, I don't think it really matters who plays and who starts, so to speak, because in the end, it's the system.
Yeah,
it's a system that's like... If
the
someone
is rigged.
No, I know that. But if someone comes out, then someone can drop in and fill and do the job.
Yeah.
It's not like it's specific to one or two players.
No.
It's like you could have that rotation probably and still have a similar output with the system. But I guess we're just gonna have to see.
What's he doing?
I don't know.
I'm just fucking stretching, bro. I'm so tired.
Just to wrap things up, are there any final thoughts?
Can we please do a Mariners and just make the 6 now? Or was that an Adelaide or was that Mariners? Or was that
Adelaide?
Was it Adelaide?
Right. Adelaide.
Please. Thank you.
Alex.
Finn, the one person who voted top 6 finish on that.
If we lose 2-1, I am finished because of that clip. You know the one.
Oh, hold that. Yeah.
I am finished, bro, if we lose 2-1.
But if
we win 2-1, that is going to be absolutely
again.
Hilarious.
Well, that's what I predicted, so you better hope I'm right. Mystic will.
Hold that.
Let's hope Mystic will sort of...
Stadge, do us a favour and just lose, please.
No, do not do that. Do not do that, please. Oh, wait, no, wait.
Wait, Stadge?
I thought you said Stan. I was
Stadge.
like, what?
Why would he... Yeah, no,
Stadge, lose, Stadge,
What about you,
please.
James? Got anything?
No.
Okay. Sick. Right.
Hopefully we win.
Great final thoughts. Thank you all so much for your support. Episode 21 is a wrap.
Leave the comments down below. Leave your thoughts.
George, please don't get us cancelled.
Anyways,
we're going to wrap it up there. Thanks for watching episode 21 of the Glory Days podcast. We will see you all next week. We wish Will lots of fun.
Josh
on
will
his
be back
holidays,
also.
and Josh will be back next week.
I'll have one more podcast after this one in me.
I got one more in me.
I leave on Saturday, so I got one more after the Western.
So we're going to record on Sunday.
Yeah, record on Sunday.
Whatever,
Whatever,
Bye.
man.
Thanks, guys. See you later.